In the world of wrestling, few names resonate as powerfully as Hulk Hogan. When it comes to wrestling, the name Hulk Hogan needs no introduction. This titan, born as Terry Gene Bollea, has left an indelible mark on the wrestling world that continues to echo years after his retirement. His career spanned over 4 decades, a testament to his tenacity and passion for the sport. Hulk Hogan is more than just a wrestling icon. He is a phenomenon that transcended the boundaries of the ring, influencing pop culture in a way few wrestlers have managed to do. His signature mustache, the ripping of his shirt, and his iconic catchphrase, "What you gonna do, brother?" became synonymous with wrestling itself. He was the face of an era, embodying the spirit of the sport in its truest form. Hogan's impact was not only cultural, but also significant in terms of the sport's growth and popularity. He was instrumental in transforming wrestling from a niche entertainment form to a global spectacle, commanding audiences of millions. Hogan's charisma was unparalleled, his presence in the ring an electrifying experience that left fans worldwide in awe. His achievements are nothing short of legendary. A 12-time world champion, Hogan's victories include 6 reigns as WWF World Heavyweight Champion, and another 6 as WCW World Heavyweight Champion. He was the first wrestler to win consecutive Royal Rumbles, a feat he accomplished in the late 80s. His stellar accomplishments earned him a well-deserved spot in the WWE Hall of Fame, not once but twice, cementing his legacy as one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. But beyond the glamour, the fame, and the roaring crowds, there was a different side to Hulk Hogan's career. A side that was less about victory and more about survival, less about glory and more about grit. The ring may have been his stage, but it was also his battlefield. Yet behind the scenes, Hulk Hogan's career was marked by a series of injuries. The physical toll of wrestling started to manifest early in Hulk Hogan's career. A young and ambitious Terry Bollea, better known by his ring name Hulk Hogan, had his first taste of wrestling's physical demands back in 1972. Fresh into his career, Hogan found himself on the sidelines with a broken ankle. This injury was a harsh reminder that the wrestling ring is not a place for the faint-hearted. It's a place where every move could be your last, a place where pain is as common as applause. But Hogan's spirit was not dampened. He embraced the pain, learning from it, growing stronger from it. His broken ankle became a stepping stone, not a stumbling block, in his path to becoming one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Fast forward to 1980. Hogan was now a seasoned wrestler, his name synonymous with strength and resilience, but even the strongest are not immune to injury. During a particularly grueling match, Hogan tore his bicep. A torn bicep is a debilitating injury, capable of sidelining even the toughest athletes. It's an injury that warrants rest, rehabilitation, and possible surgery. But Hogan was not an ordinary athlete. He was a warrior, a gladiator in the ring. Despite the pain, he continued to perform, continued to entertain his fans. He powered through, his grit and determination shining through each sweat bead that trickled down his face. The early injuries of Hogan's career were not setbacks, but rather stepping stones. They were testaments to his strength, his resilience, his undying love for the sport. They were reminders that the path to greatness is not smooth but rather filled with bumps and bruises. These injuries were not just physical scars but badges of honor that Hogan wore with pride. They were a part of his journey, a part of his story. They were reminders of the sacrifices he made, the pain he endured, all in the name of wrestling. These injuries were just the beginning of a long list that Hogan would rack up over his career. As Hogan's fame grew, so did the severity of his injuries. This is a truth that Hulk Hogan, real name Terry Gene Bollea, knew all too well. The midpoint of his career, the late 80s and early 90s, was a period marked by significant injuries that took a toll on both his performance and personal life. One of the most challenging injuries Hogan faced during this period was a series of back injuries. Now, imagine having to perform high-impact wrestling moves with a back that's screaming in pain every time you move. It wasn't just the physical pain either. These injuries also had a psychological impact, creating a cloud of uncertainty over his future in the wrestling ring. But, as we know, Hogan was not one to back down easily. Despite the severe pain, he continued to perform, demonstrating a level of resilience that was nothing short of remarkable. But the consequences of these injuries extended beyond the wrestling ring. Off the stage, Hogan's personal life was affected as well. The constant pain and the stress of not knowing if he could continue his career took a toll on his relationships and his overall well-being. It was a difficult time, but Hogan, ever the fighter, did not let these challenges deter him. He underwent numerous surgeries and spent countless hours in physical therapy to regain his strength and mobility. It was a grueling process, but Hogan was determined to get back in the ring. His commitment to his craft, his passion for wrestling was unwavering. And so, despite the pain, despite the challenges, Hogan continued to push through. His performances, though sometimes marred by his injuries, were still electrifying, still capturing the hearts of millions around the world. His injuries were a part of his journey, a testament to his strength and resilience. Despite the pain, Hogan continued to push through, his passion for wrestling undiminished. Such is the story of Hulk Hogan, a man who, even in the face of adversity, never gave up on his dream. A man whose dedication to his craft continues to inspire us all. The final chapter of Hogan's career was marred by injuries that would ultimately force him into retirement. In the twilight of his wrestling journey, Hulk Hogan began to experience the full impact of his years in the ring. The late 90s and early 2000s were particularly brutal for Hogan, as severe knee and hip injuries began to take their toll. His knee, having borne the brunt of high-impact moves and falls, was in a constant state of pain and inflammation. This was a man who had hurled himself, again and again, into the heat of battle, and his body was paying the price. His hip was no better. The socket had worn down over time, the cartilage eroded from years of relentless pounding. Each step Hogan took was a painful reminder of the price he had paid for his career. It was a slow, grinding process, like a machine wearing down over time. Even the simplest tasks, like walking or standing, became a challenge for the wrestling icon. Despite the pain, Hogan continued to compete. He was a warrior after all, and warriors don't back down from a fight. But as the years wore on, it became increasingly apparent that his body was failing him. His movements in the ring became slower, more labored. The once mighty Hulk Hogan was human after all. His doctors warned him of the risks. They told him that if he continued to wrestle, he might not walk again. But Hogan was stubborn. He didn't want to let his fans down. So he pushed on, ignoring the pain, ignoring the warnings. But in the end, the physical toll was simply too great. His body had given all it could, and there was nothing left to give. The doctors were right. Hogan was forced to retire, to step away from the ring that had been his home for so many years. It was a bitter pill to swallow, but it was the only choice he had left. In the end, the physical toll was too great, and Hogan was forced to step away from the ring. Retirement didn't mean the end of Hogan's struggles with injuries. Indeed, the ring may have been swapped for the operating theater, but the battle was far from over. As the saying goes, in wrestling, there are no off days. And for Terry Gene Bollea, better known as Hulk Hogan, this rang true even after hanging up his wrestling boots. After his retirement, Hogan underwent numerous surgeries to address the years of wear and tear his body had endured. His back, which had borne the brunt of countless slams and falls, required several procedures. One could say that the operating table became his new wrestling ring, where he fought not against other WWE icons, but against the relentless pain that had become his constant opponent. Under the surgeon's knife, Hogan had his knee repaired, a part of his body that had been subjected to untold stresses during his active years. The Hulkster, however, was no stranger to pain. He approached each surgery with the same grit and determination that had seen him through the toughest wrestling matches. But it wasn't just about surgeries. Hogan's post-retirement life also involved grappling with physical limitations. His once invincible body now had restrictions. The man who had once lifted Andre the Giant now had to be mindful of every step he took. Yet, in true Hulk Hogan fashion, he didn't let these challenges pin him down. He adapted, finding new ways to stay active and healthy. He even became an advocate for others dealing with similar struggles, sharing his experiences and encouraging others to never tap out. Retirement for Hogan was not a retreat, but a transition. A transition from wrestling under the spotlight to wrestling with personal challenges. A transition from being a public hero to becoming a private warrior. Hogan's wrestling career might have ended, but his battle with injuries continues. And like the true champion he is, he takes each day as it comes, one round at a time, always ready to fight another day. Despite his injuries, Hulk Hogan's legacy in wrestling remains unparalleled. Known as the man with the 24-inch pythons, Terry Gene Bollea, better known as Hulk Hogan, was a titan in the wrestling world. His name has become synonymous with the sport, as he was the face that brought wrestling into mainstream culture in the 80s and 90s. The Hulkster's impact on wrestling is immeasurable. He was a beacon of strength and charisma, capturing the hearts of millions with his larger-than-life persona and his undying fighting spirit. His distinct style and unique catchphrases, "From brother to Hulkamania is running wild," are now ingrained in the DNA of professional wrestling. In spite of his physical struggles, Hogan never backed down from a challenge, proving time and again that the human spirit is unyielding. His perseverance in the face of adversity has inspired countless wrestlers who have followed in his footsteps. He showed that wrestling was not just about physical prowess, but also about the ability to captivate audiences and leave an indelible mark on the sport. Even today, Hogan's influence reverberates throughout the wrestling world. His iconic leg drop has been replicated by many, but none have been able to capture the same magic that Hogan did. His battles with legendary figures like Andre the Giant and The Rock are still talked about and studied by wrestling enthusiasts worldwide. Beyond the ring, Hogan used his fame to make a difference. He was instrumental in creating the Make-A-Wish Foundation, granting wishes to terminally ill children, showing that his heart was as big as his biceps. Hogan's career, filled with trials and triumphs, is a testament to the physical toll of wrestling, but it is also a testament to the unbreakable spirit of a true champion. His name, his legacy, and his influence will forever be etched in the annals of wrestling history. His story serves as a reminder that the human spirit can overcome even the greatest of adversities. Hulk Hogan's career is a testament to the physical toll of wrestling, but also to the unbreakable spirit of a true champion. Hulk Hogan's career serves as a stark reminder of the physical costs of professional wrestling. A legend in the ring, Hogan has faced a multitude of injuries throughout his illustrious career, painting a vivid picture of the physical toll wrestling can take on the human body. From the early days of his career, Hogan grappled with injuries. Even in the bloom of his youth, he was not exempt from the harsh realities of the sport. His early career injuries were a foreshadowing of the trials to come. He faced knee injuries, torn muscles, and even severe back problems that could have ended his career prematurely. Yet, his resilience saw him through, and he continued to captivate audiences with his raw energy and charisma. Hogan's journey wasn't just marked by the triumphs in the ring, but also by the battles he fought outside it. As he moved into the midpoint of his career, the injuries became more severe, and their impact more profound. He endured multiple surgeries, long recovery periods, and the constant physical pain that comes with such a demanding sport. The toll of these injuries was not just physical, they also affected his career trajectory, leading to periods of absence from the ring and intense rehabilitation. Yet Hogan's spirit was unbreakable. He persevered, returning to the ring again and again, much to the delight of his fans. The most devastating injuries, however, were the ones that ultimately ended his career. Severe spinal issues, the culmination of years of physical strain, forced Hogan to retire from the sport he loved. Even in retirement, his struggle with injuries didn't end. He underwent multiple surgeries, including a complex spinal fusion surgery, a testament to the long-term physical costs of wrestling. Hogan's story is not unique. It is emblematic of the physical toll wrestling takes on all who step into the ring. It serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us of the need for injury prevention and care in the sport. The glamour and excitement of wrestling often overshadow the harsh realities of its physical demands. The story of Hulk Hogan underscores the need for wrestling to prioritize the health and safety of its athletes. It's essential to balance the thrill of the sport with the welfare of the wrestlers. Investing in preventative measures, promoting safe techniques, and ensuring proper care for injuries is crucial. In the end, wrestling is a sport of passion, but even the greatest champions are not immune to its physical costs. Hogan's journey serves as a stark reminder of this, a testament to the strength, resilience, and the sheer physical toll the sport demands. As we marvel at the spectacle of wrestling, let's not forget the real-life heroes who bear its burdens and remember that even the brightest stars in the wrestling universe like Hulk Hogan are made of flesh and bone.